it's going live.
Maybe it is live. I don't even know anymore.
Do you want to come up? Why do you always
come on up
in these times? Oh my gosh.
Hi everybody. Oh, you know what? Let me this just a little bit. Oh, can't do that. Oh, it's going well. Technology, am I right?
Oh, can they see? What are you doing, bro? What are you doing?
Say hello, everybody. Say hello to Maya. Maya, say hello to everybody. Oh no, she doesn't want to. Sorry. Good morning. Welcome to the Live Good Morning Show, live Good Morning Show. Cheers. Morning being really.
I don't know how we start. Well, I guess because your schedule was like kind of late, so like 11 early.
Yes.
We were in a different time zone. But
yeah. Well, also I was technically still there, but like for our peeps out in California, it is actually morning.
Right. So it feels
but
good.
Now that around the world, like our base in Transylvania is, I don't even know what time it is there.
Hi Claire, happy belated
birthday, Marty 0307. Hey, what's up? Oh my gosh, this is crazy. 6 p.m. in Italy. So I'm putting morning in quotations from now on the show title, like,
yeah,
because it's the Live Good Show. Maybe we should just call it that. Just Live Good
Coffee Show.
Coffee talk. Kimmy, good morning, or good afternoon, or good night. And Pachette, 7 p.m.
Pachette, you are on our hearts right now, so we're sending you a lot of love.
She told me, love you.
Good morning,
T-Von, about 11 a.m.
So you guys, that was a fun party on Sunday night.
That was a trip. All of the comments that were made in the YouTube comments section and respond to all of those. I'm sorry that I have not gotten to do that yet. Our other project has been calling us a little bit. Connection. Oh no, it's all good now. This technology thing, it's super cool, but also like, why is it hard? Like,
it doesn't like us. Technology.
I'm so sorry if it's fuzzy over here. We got an upgraded internet. Oh, check this out. Okay, so you see the light behind Ange? Watch this. I got a new thing because we used to have lights over here, but I lost them. They were stolen in the bag that time. So you know, they're gone.
But this light bulb.
But I got a light bulb that I control with my phone, and apparently I really am an old man because this just excites me so much.
So
like,
if you notice, this is called plant growth.
Plant growth.
Purple.
I think that's actually really cool. We might leave that one on for the rest of this. You can do custom colors.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have a fireplace back there? Nope. It's the light.
I don't think it's.
It doesn't look like the light. Yeah, it doesn't look like a thing.
Anyway, old man.
This one's coming up soon. Look at this.
Green.
And then it's going to switch in a second. You guess to what? Okay. Well, before we lose literally everybody, go back to plant growth.
Hi, Josie. Hi, Melissa.
Hey. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. And good night.
So we were going to do this fun thing today.
Yeah.
And talk about, what was the article? It's from Cosmo.
So Cosmo put out this article a ways back, but about Hollywood tropes, like rom-com tropes, things you always see in rom-com movies. And we kind of wanted to use it as a springboard and jump off point to get you all's opinions on those things, because we were thinking about doing reaction videos to some of Hollywood's, you know, romances and the things that they put out there. Some of the romances, we all figure out what you guys would like to see in that series, and, you know, what you guys think.
Yeah,
so
I think they're good conversation starters.
Do
you want me to pull up the first one?
Well, what I realized, I'm gonna move this over here.
Oh.
Nice,
fancy.
Have us over here, and then do this. Boom. Add a new window over here. Look at this, y'all. I'm doing so much right now. Technology, so much technology. That's how the kids sit. Yes, Titanic.
When Rose let him go after she promised she wouldn't.
Okay.
Right?
I've talked about this. There was enough room on that door for both of them. There was more than enough room. Studies have literally been done where people laid on the door, and even with the buoyancy factor, the type of wood that was used.
I mean, if they both
Totally
hung
would've
on,
worked.
right? Like it would have been fine.
Definitely, if you're going to hold on to it, that's a whole other aspect. But I mean, the waters were pretty icy cold, because of the iceberg.
I don't know. Well, okay. So let's get into it.
All right. So the first one that they were talking about was, and give us your opinions on these. They're joking about architects as far as the eye can see, because in rom-coms a lot of times it's like architects or some kind of like business entrepreneur. Everybody just has money out the wazoo.
Yeah.
And it's the same kind of thing that I think number 2 talks about. And I want to talk about number 2. Poop. I want to talk about the second point on here first, because they say, never having to worry about bringing a date home and dealing with a roommate, because everybody lives alone in rom-coms. Like everybody has enough money to have their own places, but they always take place in the most expensive fucking cities.
Right. Well, it's like, I mean, this isn't a rom-com, but like Carrie Bradshaw, right, was probably bringing home a solid $30,000.
Right. A freelance writer
right.
in New York City.
Yeah. And always
with an obsession with high fashion.
Right. And so that apartment, I promise you, living in New York City for, over a decade is not in her price
That's not sustainable.
range.
That's ridiculous. That was a beautiful apartment.
Yeah. Even Friends, though, like, because they were struggling at first, like that, those things are massive, those apartments. They couldn't afford that.
Yeah. No matter where you are in New York. I mean, even if you are way up in the heights, that apartment does not exist.
No, I don't know. But
although Ross could afford it on a paleontologist salary.
Yeah, Ross could afford it.
Paleontologists, as we all know.
And Chandler could.
Are paid
but Chandler wasn't living there. It was Phoebe and Monica.
Yeah.
They couldn't have.
I'm not as up to date on all that. Shy's here.
Hey,
Courtney,
Shy.
what's up? So have you guys ever had to deal with that? Like bringing a roommate, like bringing somebody home when you had a roommate? Because I know you only had a roommate once.
Yeah. And I was very, very young, and I like my space. I'd rather live. I chose to live in. I'm your roommate,
and I know that you like your space.
The tiniest apartment ever I moved into, just to and I mean, it was with my best friend. That it wasn't like a roommate. It was like my best friend. But we just, we only did it for a couple months.
Yeah.
And we didn't bring anyone home to that apartment.
Was that a rule that you had?
It was kind of, I don't know if we ever spoke about it, but it just
was just an understood, don't you fucking dare.
Yeah.
Okay.
We also lived in a one-room studio.
Yeah, you did live. Yeah, that's the thing about New York. You forget,
should we hang a curtain up? But we were
Do you
kids,
just put tape down the middle of the bed? You guys weren't snuggle bunnies.
Yeah, we were snuggling.
Claire, you had a roommate once and he used to bring people home, so you moved out.
I mean, no one wants that. That must be uncomfortable.
Yeah. I was the roommate. I was the
that was bringing the people home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, because in college there were 4 of us in the house, and only one of them was in a committed relationship, and for the entire time,
right? And
the rest of us, brought people home when it's necessary. I'll say the sneaky thing for me, and it's fine. Nobody from my class watches the show. But there were people in my class that came home with me at times. And so it was more of a secrecy thing. That having my own space would have been nice to have that privacy.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But instead it was
c'est la vie.
Come see, comme ça.
Come see, comme ça.
Say that around the house a lot. I don't know what it means. She keeps telling me.
It means so.
Yeah. So,
I think, right?
Mi casa es su casa. The things that don't.
I guess sense. I just don't like strangers in my house, period. That's not you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think I could deal with that.
I totally get that. The other one, we talked about this. The number 3 on here.
Men and women can't be friends. That's what they're putting out in the Hollywood.
Yeah,
now
they're saying that that's a Hollywood trope.
They always fall for each other, which,
right.
Obviously they're setting it up that way. And we've had that talk.
Mm-hmm.
We think men and women can be friends, of course. But if they're the best friend of your life, we think one of them is going to fall for the other, you know, or
there's just going to be some kind of feelings. There's going to be
Yeah.
a little bit of attraction. There's going to be a little bit of some emotional.
Yeah, it's not going to be entirely platonic if they're like your best friend in the
Well,
world.
the thing is, they say that this is a trope here, but I am not going to lie to you. I read ahead, and they also later get into the fact that they're saying, like, you know, that there's always a best friend that knows you so well and is waiting in the wings, and that you don't have any idea. Like the girl never knows that there's a man that's perfect for her, vice versa.
Right.
That's perfect for them right there. And that's a trope, but also they say, well, we do know. You always know when you have that friend who is perfect on paper or whatever.
Let's get to it in a second. When we get to it.
All right. What would you say? I think men and women can be friends. I see nothing wrong with it, in my opinion. No.
Oh, it's not about being wrong.
For sure, you can be friends. I have female friends. You have male friends.
Yeah.
But
we're not saying that. We're saying that sometimes as they grow to be, you know.
If your best friend is of whatever sex that you are interested in, your absolute best friend, I think it's, in my experience that I have seen, not just in my sexual experience, but within my friends, and that's, you know, gay, straight, man, woman, whatever, people, usually somebody catches feelings. I've never seen
it fully stay.
I've never seen people.
If it is like, if the friendship is growing deeper and deeper, like friendships do, and you happen to be interested in that sexual preference.
Like I said, I've just never seen it.
Yeah.
But if if it happens, throw it in the comments. Let us know. Most of my mates are male. My best mate I've been friends with since we were babies. He's happily married. See, Claire.
Okay.
Claire's showing us that. This is one of those things that this is what I love about this channel is like, I have never I don't know anybody who has that experience. And it's amazing that we can have these talks. And that's the whole point. I love that. It's like the refinery happening right here. All right. The next one is silly. Dramatic airport declarations of love are common. I don't have anything I've never declared my love in an airport.
I know what they mean, like running to the gate.
Yeah. Well, you can't do that anymore.
Right. That was like very a thing.
You would just run into the airport and they'd be like, you need to calm down.
Right.
You need to fucking calm down. You need to stop running. It's like a pool. Yes. I think there are different categories of best friends. Like he's my brother, but my best mate. I get that.
Gotcha.
Josie Heidi, don't have any male friends. Yes, Pachette, the slow-mo run in the airport. Yes. And now it's a slow-mo run followed by a slow-mo tackle from the TSA on the side.
Right.
Like that's just impossible. Nobody's running through airports anymore.
Creepy.
Now, see this one. I'm so sorry.
No. I'm going to read it. Creepy signs are romantic. They're making fun of the guy from Love Actually, who's in love with, his friend's gal.
Yeah.
And, he's holding the sign, but like creepy, like grand gestures.
Yeah. Grand gestures. Yeah.
Like, creepy.
Because they also talk about in the Notebook when Ryan Gosling's hanging off the Ferris wheel and being like, I'll kill myself if you don't go out on a date with me, like blah blah blah.
Right.
You should go out with me instead. And they're like, that's not romantic. But it is, because otherwise, a whole it's not. That's not. You know what? There's kind of this argument here that was on that old PBS Idea channel that I used to watch, where some of these things, are they romantic because Hollywood is telling us they're romantic, or is Hollywood just fulfilling this thing that we think is romantic? We want these big dramatic gestures. I think obviously it's going to be person to person, but I think some people identify with it because they like the big romantic gesture.
Yeah.
That is.
I mean, is it always healthy? Sometimes no. Like sometimes like people don't belong together and then you go, do a huge to do and it's romantic. Yes, it's in the moment, it's dramatic, but it, but either way, creepy. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's creepy, these big gestures.
Yeah. Like I'm just saying, and this is off the top of my head, totally off my cuff. if you were to move 7 blocks from somebody you were interested in, like, and you just loved them with everything that you were, I'm just saying, like, and you wanted to get to know them better.
I think it was cute. I think
I've said this before, but at our wedding, somebody said, or at I think the rehearsal dinner, they said, there's a fine line between creepy and romantic, and Colt, you got really lucky. Because had you not been into me, but this is the thing about these romantic gestures. I was self-aware enough to know, I knew that you were into me. I knew that we had a vibe. I knew that we liked each other. And honestly, had we not ended up together, I would have just lived in the same general neighborhood. Yeah. Like, I didn't move into your building. Like, that would have been creepy.
A little much.
But I did get a place that I loved, that whether or not we were together, I was still going to like.
Right.
And those things. So bada bing, bada boom. Bada bing, here we go. Boom. We got some comments coming in. Claire, you made there's a good question here. What's your take on Sweet Home Alabama? I love the whole why do you want to marry me for, so I can kiss you anytime I want. I think that's adorable. You know what? Maybe we'll do Sweet Home Alabama as one of them, because I like that movie.
Yeah.
I also like Patrick Dempsey and, Reese Witherspoon.
I don't remember it well, but that is a cute cute statement.
Yeah. It's a great statement.
I married you because you're my best friend and I am attracted to you, and we have chemistry.
Oh, I thought you meant sex. We got excited.
That too.
We do.
But that was a good reason to get married.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
It was awesome. I still stand by, as cheesy as it sounds, and I know that it is, but I love that we get to have a sleepover every night.
Yeah.
Like, every night we sit down and we're like, okay, what are we going to watch? And what are we going to do? And then we have our drinks. And like last night we got dressed up head to toe, except for our hair. And we went on a walk with the girls like we do every night, but we were dressed to the nines, like our going out clothes, like in the city, if we were going out for date night. And we got dressed and we just took the girls for a walk.
Probably think we're crazy.
They think we're crazy
anyway. Something like an early week date. Like we just needed to switch it up.
You got to get out and do the thing. But then we ended up sitting. We ended up having a long talk, as we tend to do. And we were laying in the kitchen, spilling drinks and just talking and shooting the shit and having fun. Yeah. And that is why I married you. I married you because I get to share that with you, and that I love that time. I love that I have found somebody who I want to do those things with, that I want to share that with. That's why
you're still here. You're still here. 10 plus years later.
I mean, oh, Courtney, that's okay. It's all good if you miss stuff.
Oh yeah, don't worry about it.
We're all good.
What about this? Opposites attract and make for great sexual tension. So we see this often in movies. They're saying,
what they're saying is when in reality, if you both hate each other, you just keep hating on each other. And that is not true, because a lot of the times, first off, hate is born out of fear. Mm. And a lot of these things are like those relationships where, there's tension between somebody. It could be that there's sexual tension there and neither one of you wants to admit it. And neither one of you is letting yourself see what that other person actually is to you, or what you actually are to them. It's not always,
Yeah.
Like I've been attracted to people that I was like, God, this fucking person. And then I realized I actually am attracted to that, but I just don't, there's something about it that I just don't click with.
Right. I guess it's even the word opposites though is interesting for me, because it's I don't really, I feel like you always find common ground and I'm not really, I never had a type, so that everyone kind of was opposite, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, we were opposites.
Yeah, totally. But now we're two peas in a pod, and really, if you look at it, we're still opposites. And I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm getting to, is that the best relationships that I know are people who complement each other.
Yeah.
So you have to be opposites in certain ways, but it's accepting your innate flaws and your partner's innate strengths that allows that to be successful.
Right.
Granted, we are really breaking down Cosmo, but I mean, if you're gonna throw shit out there, I'm gonna tell you what's up. Anytime your partner fucks up, they should make it up to you by pulling out all the stops for a dramatic romantic gesture.
I mean, not anytime.
Not anytime, but every time.
Yeah.
But
it's sweet if you have time. And
it depends.
Great.
It really depends. And it also depends on what you did. I think
did something really bad, maybe.
Well, I think in a lot of movies we get the guy cheated and now he makes this romantic gesture as if that makes any fucking difference.
Right.
It has nothing to do with that. If you just said the wrong thing or you did the wrong thing within the confines of a 90-minute romantic comedy, sure, that's probably a good way, because they don't really want to film just the talk of being like, I'm really sorry, I lost myself and I was angry, I was upset, and the therapy breakdown, that's not as interesting.
Right. So you need the whole, marching band serenade situation.
Like the saying, you only hurt the person you love. Oof. I don't know about that one. And Kimmy, you said, well, it's crappy on my end. No romantic gestures in 17 years. Then you know what? Then that's why the rom-coms, and that's another thing. That's literally unintentionally what we were just talking about. Sometimes the rom-coms are there because it provides something else. It provides something to look towards.
Right. But sometimes it does really provide inspiration, because a lot of people are like, well, that's not really how life is. You can't have it all. You can't have the person. And so our rebuttal to that is, well, fuck, fuck them. Because
we have the cool stuff.
Of course you should ask for everything you want. Get out of the situation you don't want to be in. And pull yourself towards, the love that you want.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. But we also, so many of our situations end up being rom-com situations.
Yes.
And yet there's also an innate day in and day out that
they're lacking, because they skip but that's like any movie, we don't have time to document, otherwise it wouldn't make for a great film. But there are those little habits and things we work towards together to keep each other close every day that it doesn't document.
Yeah. I think one of the things, and we'll talk about this a lot in the series that we'll do about this, is that rom-coms a lot of times tend to oversimplify things for the purpose of just making a beautiful romantic gesture, which is great. But if the movie is filled with all of these romantic gestures and none of the hard stuff, except for the one pivotal point before the hero goes down, the protagonist goes down and then has to win their way back.
Right.
There's only the one, but it's actually that over and over and over again, 1,000,000 times a day. It's awesome.
Yeah. 100%.
I don't know if that made
no
sense.
Let's go to the comments. This is such a thing that happened. A common thing that happens to me, even when my friends make fun of me for, I always develop the weirdest sexual tension with people that I would never date. Zero future with. What is that, Kel? I've also had that problem.
I
think a lot of us have had that problem.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, hey, I don't think it's a bad thing though, especially because you're so self-aware that you don't see a future with them. You're just like, well, it is what it is. Yeah. And have a good time. And
well, that's why
because eventually, I mean, the cool part for you is that at least you're fulfilling some of your circle. That sexual tension obviously needs to be there, in the circle. So, you're embracing that part of your full circle. And then someone else might come along where they have the full circle.
But that just because there's not a full circle currently available to you does not mean there's no circle.
No. And I'm actually really proud of you for embracing that side, because that's important to know. Not just does someone need to be, a good friend and good on paper, whatever that means, but you have to have that sexual tension if you're going to be together forever.
Okay. So she posted about this yesterday on Colt.Ang on our Instagram. And you said the key to a long-term relationship is never stop flirting.
Yeah.
And that sexual tension though is that's still very prevalent in our relationship.
Yeah.
And I love that. But that was a huge thing that both of us, if that's important to you, now Kelly, like that's
I think, as let's get a little
let's
real
do it.
about it.
Let's
Like
talk.
we're animals, right? If you're not embracing that part of yourself, you're sort of like dimming the light on this natural part of humanity, right?
Well, I think it's person to person, but yes.
I mean, to what
whatever
degree,
your
yes,
circle
but whatever
is,
your circle, if you're not embracing, if you're not embracing that part of it, maybe I'm saying too much.
No, I like it.
At least for me, that was a huge part of the circle, and I had to find someone that was compatible with me. Yes.
Yes. I was like, just say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Woo!
Go get them.
Go get them. Oh my God. We do talk about that a lot, though. Like what we talked about that a lot on tour with like the tour babies, we call them the kiddos. Oh, yeah. Like get out there and enjoy yourself, date around, because again, you don't know what you do and don't want and what the signs are just by reading about them, just by, reading a book and it says that you've got to get out there. Everything that we ever say to you is only useful in application. Right. We always talk about actions over words, and that self-love, discovering yourself, is such a huge part of that. That does not mean go out and have sex with everybody ever. It means but do whatever you want to do to discover what you need and what you want.
Right. I mean, you got to try all the flavors. Make sure.
Comments. Go back to the comments. One, Nicole, my tutor said to ask you today what happens in an athlete's arm when they do biceps curls with heavy weights and what happens when they start to ache. You know what? DM me and we could talk about that separately. Claire, the hate comment made me think of it. Yeah, I get that. Kelly, Kimmy, perfect. I mean, I love it. Danger zone. Danger zone.
Danger zone.
All right. Number 8 over here on Cosmo. There's no middle part to sex.
What do they mean by that?
It always starts with a gaze, then lingers, and then it's immediate smash cut to lying rumpled and sweaty in bed. You know what? This is very true.
It is true, but like, what are you going to want to film the whole thing?
I mean,
you want to film the whole thing,
then it's just called
then it's called porn. Exactly. So they have to do that.
But it's the implication
is that then we are like, that's how sex happens.
Well.
What are you saying?
I don't know exactly. What I'm saying is, would it be better to like get into any of the particulars, but without making it such a vivid, like, softcore porn thing? Like, it's not about that, but like if we're going to do a rom-com, like get into some of the comedy of what that is sometimes.
Well, I think a lot of them do touch on that.
I think so too.
I don't know. I don't know but I understand what they're saying.
Yeah, there is a general sense of, well, there's tension and then
boom, and then
smash cut, so aptly named. Everybody notices your cute quirks, which will help you filter out your good on paper guy with your real soulmate.
I don't really know what that means either.
I'm good. Let's
skip that one.
Okay, this one I wanted to ask you guys about. Have you ever had guys fight over you? Because this one talks about the trope of you always have the option of a good on paper guy and then your real soulmate, and that those two are definitely different, and that you have to pick between them, or that you constantly will have that option.
Okay, I mean, that's great if you have all the men flocking to you, I guess. Congratulations. And
it wasn't all the men.
I'm just kidding. But like, I think again, they're just saying like, they always give that like, is she going to follow her heart or do what's, good on paper or what everyone's telling her? And I think, again, it comes back to our basic message here. It's like the more we know about ourselves and what we really want, it has nothing to do with playing it safe or doing the right thing or marrying the good guy. Like, it's obviously we want you to marry a good person if that's what you decide to do. But
best case scenario,
don't marry an asshole. But follow your heart. The more you know about yourself. I mean, you go with, what are they saying? Your real. Yes, we want to find our real soulmate.
Yeah.
that's like a no-brainer.
But if your real soulmate also happens to be the person
good
that on paper is good, that doesn't mean you should look for somebody who's not good on paper. I feel like the real soulmate is never good on paper. I will say that's a trope that I feel like they maybe
in the movies they're like,
your real soulmate can also be someone who's good on paper for you, and also someone who's absolutely not. And also it's so weird. It's the categorizing thing.
Yeah.
Dirty Dancing started with a dance. Not untrue.
Who said that?
Claire.
Well.
Yes.
Taking off your glasses constitutes as a makeover.
I'm gonna go get some
glass. I mean, I agree, right? It's like they have the glasses on and the hair up, right? And then all of a sudden it's like slow-mo, take the glasses off, and then the hair comes out, and then all of a sudden you have like, you're done.
Excuse me.
I always kind of like those moments. It's fun. It's a fun shot. But
I like them too, but I'll also say that I look different when I wear my glasses.
That's true.
Like, it's not a full makeover. I'm clearly still the same person, but I'm not going to lie that I feel like I do look like a different person to some extent.
Yes, you do. You do.
You do.
I do.
Those are hers, actually.
These are my, so I don't have like any eye problems. You would think I do sometimes, but apparently I don't. But these are my Blu-ray glasses. He makes fun of me for them, but I like them.
I do not make fun of you for them. I think you look so hot.
Yeah?
Yeah, you look very cute.
Okay, what's next?
Yeah, it's the Superman. It's the Clark Kent. Like nobody ever recognized that this big muscly dude who just happened to have glasses on.
Right, and a little
who looked
hair
exactly
gel.
like Superman. Though he could have done his hair really quickly.
Right.
Either way. There's always a sweet male BFF just waiting in the wings for you, and you have no idea he's into you. Trust us, you know, is what they say. And that's the one that I was talking about.
Oh, it does sort of relate. Yeah, I mean, I agree, though. I have had that happen a lot, and I guess that's why, not a lot. I've had that happen a lot.
Really, a lot.
I had that happen one time and I ended up.
That was a pretty quick switch.
No, why did I say a lot? That was weird.
Had it happen like 1,000 times. Probably
it
like
so
once,
beautiful
though.
And like, oh my God, like they all fell for me. No, it's so dumb.
We all did.
No, but one specific time, I just had a male friend, and we were just being friends, and the friendship was growing.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. The friendship was growing and growing and getting deeper, and then feelings.
Still talking about the friendship.
Yeah,
got it.
But then feelings started to grow on his end. And, I'm at fault because then I was like, oh, well, maybe I should give it a go, even though I wasn't really feeling that way at all, And
then what happened?
It fell apart because I wasn't into him. I just wasn't.
Right.
And again, I wish we could have stayed friends, not after the relationship ended, but like I should not have engaged in that romantic.
Did you know that he was, and you knew he was into you as it was starting to happen?
Totally.
Have you guys had that happen where you have somebody that like what do you do in that situation?
Because we're assholes, and it's fucking flattering sometimes to be like, oh, I think he's kind of into me. Yeah. Like, I'm just going to play in this little area while it's safe because it's fun to be. I mean, I hate to say it. It's horrible.
No, it's
called being 22.
Fucking comment.
John. Hey, that's honest.
But also,
he didn't quit it.
He ain't wrong.
I mean,
so moving on, heterosexuality is the only option is a romantic trope number 13.
Who said that?
They're saying like that's the thing in most rom-coms.
I mean, I guess because rom-coms were developed in like 1985, they really started, like that was what we were doing in movies then. Yeah. I think now it is absolutely
it's definitely
evolving.
Grown and evolved.
Right.
All right, hold on. We got some comments over here. Hey, Delaney.
Hey,
See,
Delaney.
I say it right. Chet, I would never give that person hope. Good on you for Chet, because not everybody is that cool.
Well, has anyone ever been 22 before?
I think everybody that's 23 or above. Specifically, if I was to guess.
It was terrible. It was a terrible move. I'm not proud of it.
Yeah, no, I've done that same thing where
sharing my flaws here.
No, I've also done that, and I'm not proud of it at all. But there is an element of, oh, cool, like I like attention, like
right,
and sometimes did you entertain it in the hopes that you would eventually change your mind about that person?
Yes. 100%.
So I think I
was like, oh,
you're like, well, I'll keep this on the back burner, which is super shitty. I'm not changing my,
because again, we know when we're talking about the full circle, we already know that like that friendship is there, right? So you have to be best friends with your life partner, person you're going to choose to spend the rest of your life with, right? So some of the circles there. So if you can just maybe force that other half all the way around,
that other,
I was like,
you made it seem like it was going to be such a small amount. You just forced that other 180 degrees of a 360 degree circle.
Should I just try this out? Like,
worst case scenario
is not it, but I had to see for myself.
Claire said, I was interested in one of my male friends. I told him he never felt the same. We are still great mates. He never felt the same about it,
the romantic
with you.
part
Okay.
of it.
Well, good on you for putting yourself out there though, and just letting it fly. Kelly, but what are we supposed to do in that situation when he has feelings? Ignore it and keep the friendship together, or address it and risk losing it completely if you don't feel the same? And has made her feelings known.
I guess the question is, has he come out and said, how he feels? Like, have they come out and said it? Because we also know, that they're into us. We also can sort of gently, compassionately squash their dream of being like, hey, I'm not into this. No, truly, I am not into this. But I love you. And there's ways to do that,
What are
subtly,
any of those ways?
I think subtly, like, if you're going to date other people, but I think we have to be honest with ourselves. Like, you can feel when you're entertaining them in a way that is just slightly more than friendship,
I think
there's so much that goes into it. Body language.
To use this word that I love using lately, I think the onus is put on, couldn't even say it. I think the onus, I don't know why. I think the onus is on the person who has the feelings to share that if they feel those strongly enough. And otherwise it's for you to go about your relationship unless it is affecting it, at which point, then if you feel strongly enough about it, then speak up. If not, fuck it, let it be.
Let it be.
That's what it is. Come see, come
I like that.
See, say it whenever you want. Courtney, one of my work colleagues has feelings for me, and I know this because he's told me, but because I have a boyfriend and I don't feel the same, I feel bad letting him down. What should I do?
Well, you should never feel bad about letting someone down about how you feel. Your feelings are your feelings. So that's just.
Yeah, I think you're actually super in the clear.
Right.
Here. Like there's nothing for you to feel bad about.
Right.
Good on that person for sharing their truth with you. But if they really are interested in you and like you, then they can respect you enough to, be like, okay, cool. I needed to let you know this, but whatever the outcome is, like, that's not your business to have to worry about that.
And you also kind of have to know, friendships are like all relationships, not every friendship is supposed to be in your life forever. Sometimes it's supposed to teach you something. Sometimes, you do have lifetime friends, but.
And you may end up in a situation like Claire, where she told the person, they didn't reciprocate, and now they've kind of moved on. They're like.
But I think what's interesting, and I mean, maybe Claire, you have something you can share with us about this, is like, how was that process of being like, I'm so into you, but I have to then close the curtain on that idea, of us. And how do you move forward in your friendship? Like, how do you then keep them in your life still and love them, but but your heart has kind of loved them in a different way. So now do you like pull back or shift or like, you know, I don't know.
It's all situation to situation. Yeah. All right. Next Moving one, on. Going on a vacation is a cure-all for singleness. Like Forgetting Sarah Marshall, The Proposal, or The Holiday. Yeah.
You know, I've always wanted to go. Oh, I love The Holiday. I've always wanted to go on vacation and meet a man. Not anymore, but
it's like
back in the day.
Well, fucking
and I would be like, you know, you're like getting all your bikinis out and you're like, okay, I'm gonna plan this. And then like, and you have your eyes open, you know, when you get to the vacation. And then I'm like, there's nobody here. Like there's nobody there.
Where have you vacationed?
Like family vacations and stuff.
Yes.
You know?
Well, it's always best to meet a man on a family vacation.
Right. But that's what we think is going to happen. Every teenage girl thinks that they're going to meet the love of their life on a family vacation.
They do?
Yes.
Okay.
Isn't this common knowledge?
Please put it in the comments.
Every time I went on a family vacation, even at Disney World, I thought I was going to meet the love of my life. I thought I would accidentally slip away to the bathroom and get a frozen slushie and I'd bump into like the love of my life.
Well, that
I expected that would happen.
No, I mean, I totally understand it.
I was a little bit obsessive though with like, again, finding love was my priority.
Yes.
No matter how unhealthy that route was, I was always looking for it.
I completely agree with that. I definitely threw a lot of my situations off track because I was looking for you out there. And I definitely,
you know what I'm talking
I get what you're saying. I'd go to the grocery store and getting out of the car, I'd be like, it's an attractive person. They're looking at me. Is this the one?
Right.
Oh my God, it's happening. Nope.
I mean,
I dropped something and they were just, they were just being like, hey, you dropped that.
But going on vacation of all, you know, places, you think that the other single
I didn't go on a vacation between the time that I was 7 and the time that I met you.
Right. Well, so, okay, but you know, in regards to this.
Yeah, no. The Holiday's a great movie. So
moving on. Let's skip 15. That's boring. Let's
I like this one.
16 I like, yeah. His ex is a one-sided monster out to get you. That's what they're saying Hollywood is putting out there.
The exes are always bad. And I can say that is not true.
Not true.
Because I really appreciate your ex.
Yeah, one of my exes was very great. Oh.
Not that one. Before me. 2 before me.
But some people are just not nice people. And so they might be out to get you.
Yeah, there's probably some people out there
that don't really like me very much, but there's
your
a lot that don't like you.
My exes, yeah.
But some are very kind people, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah,
so it's
that's the best case scenario when you can just look at it and be like, "Look, this is go with God, go with love."
Right,
I'm done. It's not over here for us. Kimmy said, a quick off topic. A couple of us here are wondering what made you get the meaning of your love is you tattoo. I think I talked about this in the meaning of the tattoos video. Did I talk about this one?
I don't remember.
Well, if not,
I think you showcased it. Did you talk about the meaning?
I don't know that I fully did. It was born out of a conversation that Angelina and I were having over text one night, and I was just rattling off all of these emotions and these feelings that I was having for her and trying to express through words how much she represented to me, and that I felt like I love you didn't really cut it. And as I was explaining it, I used to send her poems essentially.
Yeah, you did.
And at the end of it, it was just kind of free form, you know, talking about love and what you were to me. And I said, love is you, because she and the actions that she took, in our relationship and for our relationship and for me, just felt like what love should be. And
you're such a romantic.
Yeah.
And then he said, I'm putting it on my body. And I've said, we've been together for a week.
Nah,
No, just kidding.
no, it was like 2 weeks. And
okay.
no, I think we've been together a couple of months at that point. But I'll say this: it didn't matter in the sense that was an eye-opening experience for me to understand love in a different way, to have a new way of looking at and understanding love that I hadn't had before. And even if you had, left me, I would have still wanted to have that memory and that significance of this thing. And that's what tattoos are to me.
Yeah.
They're a significant moment in history, in the history of my life, that I wanted to capture. And so that's what that tattoo means. It's grown, for a lot of people will look at it when I'm out and I forget that it's there because it's here,
Right.
So I never see it. And I always forget about it. And a lot of times I'll be out and someone's like tattoo or
yeah.
And it's funny because they always seem to feel like they know what it means. And it's just one of the kind of most perfect for me symbols of, you don't know anybody else's story. You don't know,
right.
What that is, but whatever it means to you, if it feels significant to you, the statement "love is you." I've had yogis be like, I understand that.
Right. You can interpret however you want.
I'm like, yeah, there's a million ways to look at it. But mine, the real one, is it's for this goober over here.
What's going on over here?
All right. They're very sweet. Thank you. And thanks to see, I didn't cover it. And now I know that if I do, you guys are gonna know it. So that's all good. Oh, that's very, very sweet. Thank you.
Oh.
All right. Let's go on to the next one. Your sassy BFF will always be there to dispense love advice and will want nothing more than to see you happy.
I think
so. That's true. That's not a Hollywood trope.
What is her thing? Meanwhile, my friends straight up leave
me on red if I complain about the same guy 2 weeks in a row. Well, your friends suck, Cosmo person.
Yeah.
That's...
I don't know. All of my best friends are very sassy, and we're always up for giving each other advice. That's called love. It's
called friendship.
Friendship.
I'm pretty sure it's what BFF means. Best friends forever.
Right.
Not.
I think you should rethink your best friend, Cosmo lady. Person.
I disagree with that one.
I do too.
How do you guys feel about that? Do you feel like your friends are? And I understand what the joke of what she's saying, but there's also an element of of truth to that. If that fucking sucks, if your friends are just like, you've complained about this person before,
right?
You didn't take my advice the first time. What? So
that's not
how this works.
Goes. Yeah.
No, thank you. Oh, good. My mom's done voting. Good, everyone. Thanks.
Nice.
Thanks, Mom.
Make sure you vote.
Yes. Oh, while we're on the topic, vote. Please.
I posted a cute little photo of us today in our voting t-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
We mailed our ballots in.
Yep.
And yeah. What are you looking at?
Yes, Kelly Goff. Best friends forever, not best friends for now. Or they aren't your true friends. Fuck yeah.
That's
Fridays.
the truth.
Or Tuesdays. Real friends stick with you through thick and thin. Very true. Well, I always love the fact that, and you know what? This is something maybe we should touch on at some point. Nick was your best friend by not leaving you to your own devices, by saying, hey, I love you so much.
Right. That I'm essentially going to kill you if you continue going down this path. I love you. I've seen you beating your head against the same wall for, X amount of time. And you got to make a change. And I love you. Yeah. She never left me.
Yeah.
She, definitely was like, straight up about some things.
There's a difference between 2 weeks in a row, 2 consecutive weeks of complaining about the same person, and or 5 years
watching your friend,
of slowly watching your friend, deteriorate into a shell of themselves. And I had a couple of friends do that for me after watching me for about a year and change. And after a year and change of me just progressively getting less and less like myself and being further and further from who I am and was, they were just very honest with me and like, hey, we love you. We love who you are, but you are no longer that person because you've fallen into this hole of this relationship. And you are dark and awful. And we're not going to talk to you till you're either not that or something else. Cause we're not friends with that.
Right.
We're not friends with this shitty thing you're being right now.
Do not like the person in your
life. Which I appreciate, but that's also relationships. I mean, we had a talk yesterday. We had a talk this morning because somebody said something snarky. And I mean, this is on a very microcosmic scale, but like there are times where I'll make a snarky comment and won't even realize that what I'm saying is kind of an asinine thing. I'm not being my good self. I'm not being my best self. I'm not even being a decent version of myself. And she'll call me on it and be like, okay, pause. Don't be an asshole. And I have to like look at it and be like, I should self-edit. Okay, cool. So I'm sorry about that. And then you can move on past that. But I think that's what a good friend does is they call you on your bullshit. They support you, a certain amount and kind of move through that. Yeah.
The next one is, I like this one. Your coworkers will always be sitting on your desk, gabbing and filing their nails and just waiting for you to fill them in on whatever love drama or lack of love drama is going on in your life. Now they're saying that only happens in the movies, like that.
Also happens on Broadway.
God. Also, like that is my life though, actually. And that is, I think, why I miss my life so much. But like, I have so much fun at work.
I know.
Like it is like a gossip gab central, and I create that in a healthy way, and I think that's an important thing though. Like I'm proud of that. Like whenever I get to a show, I really make sure that like the women are as best I can. It has failed sometimes in certain shows, but for the most part, that the women are galvanized and that we create like a community to like really love the fuck out of each other. Yeah. And in turn, when you create like a room like that of women, like that you spend, we spend a million hours together a day, like not just on the stage, but you're pretty much spend most of your time changing backstage, right? So you're always changing and stretching and changing and stretching and doing your makeup and changing and stretching. And like you have hours and hours and hours to talk about anything you want. And so like, I don't know, that is my life. Gab Gossip Central.
Yeah.
Like you run to work and you're like, oh my God, wait, how was that date? Wait, what happened? Wait, did they call you back? Wait, like the things that I learned in the dressing room.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, it's like that. I miss that too. I miss my Bach boys.
It's the same for you.
Yeah.
You are a gossip gab queen.
I am
in a good fun way, in a sweet way.
The right dressing. Well, see, I was really lucky. So I got to watch because I wasn't in Aladdin for the first 2 years of the tour. Ange was there the whole time, and it's also it was directed and choreographed by Casey Nicola, who choreographed Spamalot, which was your first like big, full production tour.
Yeah.
And you always, I love that the story of you talk about Spamalot, where they had this sisterhood, this womanhood, this family where the women took care of each other, and you always had, like nights where it was just for the girls, and it was just for this, and you created this camaraderie. And when new women came into the company, they pulled you into the fold. They,
right.
And you made that on Aladdin. And I got to watch from an outside perspective this cast come together, and it was so beautiful and it was so fun to watch. And then when I joined, I realized like how much you had done that, and I got to have that with my boys, the Bach Bar.
Yeah.
And in Aladdin, I was one of 3 characters that are essentially Apu. Think of it that way from the animated feature. And so we spend the whole time together, just the 3 of us, or the 3 of us in Aladdin, but Aladdin's on stage a bunch because, it's called Aladdin. And
but whoever is in your dressing room truly impacts your
100%
life on such a like an intimate daily basis.
And we would just sit there and gab and talk because we would come out and do a number and then we'd be gone for like 40 minutes. And so we would go back, put our robes on and just like sit there and be like, wait a second, you had a date last night. And you literally do the same thing. So I actually, Cosmo, wrong. Big old X on this one. Maybe if you have like a real job or whatever.
Right. I think I would be fired from a real job for that reason. Because they'd be like, instantly, stop talking. Go do some work. I've also like missed cues because I've been like catching up on gossip, which is bad.
You have not. Have you really?
Oh.
Back in the day?
Oh my God. Like so many. Yeah. Like I'll be telling a story and then like, I actually didn't during Aladdin, thank God. But like, because we gab so much, the girls, like so many other girls, we've all gotten in trouble for like certain people missing cues because we're like telling a freaking story. Meanwhile, we should be on stage like doing something else. I don't know. We almost
missed a bunch of cues because of that.
Yeah.
Because we'd be talking, especially all through intermission, because we started Act 2.
Right.
But we would be upstairs talking through intermission as if we hadn't had a 45-minute break before intermission. And then they call places and none of us would be dressed. And we'd be running down to the stage to open the show.
Kelly said, it's my favorite. I start earlier, so I rush to get my things done because when my other coworkers show up, it's usually a coffee and do I have some hot tea for you? That's awesome, Cal. And I imagine though, like, I feel like a kitchen is a similar, like, probably feeling to what I'm describing. Like just that, like, you can kind of work and talk and I don't know. I love that though. Okay. One more?
Let's do it. We're almost to the end. So we got 5 more. I say we knock them out.
Oh, but we're
there's no time limit.
Oh, there isn't. Okay.
I mean, everybody can, you can peace out when you need to. I'm having fun. I want to keep going.
You love this. I like it too, actually. Hold on.
You keep skipping them. Are they not good?
Well, the ones that are boring.
What? No, that's great.
Do you think okay.
Why have you never, you've had this experience. That's
that all your best friends
would dramatically pull your guy aside and be like, don't you dare hurt her. Well, just so you know, your friends did that.
They did?
Yes.
I guess they did.
Yes. That's a real thing that happens. Also, they were don't date him.
Right. No, I shouldn't say like they did. I mean, I kind of knew they did, and I've done that too. But I think that's like, is that not normal?
But I'm saying that I think that Cosmo's wrong about this because it's not a trope.
No, I think that it's real. Yeah.
That's a thing that I like. I think you should do that. I mean, not as a guy. Like,
I'm having trouble hearing you.
You should be. Shut up,
Siri.
please. It's not your conversation, Jeff Bezos. What was I saying? Doesn't matter. Oh, your friends should do that unless it's a guy. Like I would never go to like Christine, like Billy's wife, and be like, don't you dare hurt him, or I swear to God. Like that may be a little aggressive. That would be weird.
Well, if you did it like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of if I've ever had someone do that to or say that to me.
No, I don't know. I don't think it should happen that way, but I thought it was really cute when your friends did it.
I think it is cute.
I thought it also made me, it took me, I was like, okay, yeah, because it just reminds you of the stakes. It's somebody's heart. It's not just some random relationship.
Yeah.
It's important. Mine have done the 20 questions. Like, what are your intentions? Absolutely, Claire.
Totally.
Kelly, one of my best friends, so very protective of me. And I found out she drunkenly pulled this guy aside I was seeing when we were all out at a bar and was like, what are your intentions with my girl? Hold on. What was his response? Tell me see, this is the thing. I think when that question comes up, you have to answer it.
Yeah.
Like,
of course you do. Yeah.
And you should have a good answer.
Yeah.
And just like stand by whatever that is.
Yeah. You got to be able to like get behind your actions. Right. So I'm fine with it.
I love that. Good. Guys always talk to other guys about dating problems while playing pickup basketball.
What is pickup basketball?
It's just basketball.
Oh.
technically it's if you're playing basketball, like you go to a court and they just need like they're making random teams. They're just like, oh, we need two guys. You two. Like that's technically pickup, but it's just playing basketball with your friends and talking about
I feel like
stuff.
any situation you're hanging, they're saying specifically basketball. I mean, maybe it makes for a good shot, you guys. Good scene.
Yeah. I always think it's funny because the guys in the movies that are playing basketball, in these particular movies, Along Came Polly and Keeping the Faith are the ones that they give examples of. Like, that's Philip Seymour Hoffman and Ben Stiller playing one of the best basketball scenes I've seen. I love that scene.
I forget it. We should watch Along Came Polly, though, again. I really loved that movie. It's cute.
Good. All right, this is the last one. I'd be doing a lot more morning after fire escape exits. Turns out no one's stopping me from leaving in the morning.
I don't fully understand.
I don't either.
I'd be doing a lot more morning after. So they're saying that I don't really know what they're saying. I think I have
more interesting to watch us try to figure out what things are.
She's saying like it would be rude to leave, so they had to sneak out on the fire escape, or she's saying
the trope is that she would be doing a lot more morning, like a lot more one night stand, like sneak outs, but nobody really cares, so they're just like, okay, bye. Yeah, half night stand. If you don't know what a half night stand is, check out this video link that I'll put in, when it's not live. Mm-hmm. Half night stands are the best. Sleep in your own bed. I mean,
unless you're having a great time, but like, no need to stay over.
Yeah, don't feel that pressure. That's ridiculous. Okay, well, Cosmo, 2 of the things you said out of those 27, I agree with, and the rest of them are weird.
Thanks for hanging, guys.
Thanks for hanging out.
This was fun.
For the live good show with coffee.
Coffee talk.
Coffee talks. Coffee talk. Is that what we're going to call it? Coffee talk?
I think we should change the name, right?
We're changing the name.
The hours are different for everyone. Coffee talks.
Hold on. I want to go through the comments here at the end. I always found out, I always found that to be the typical dude bro way of approaching being able to openly talk about their feelings without judgment. They have to play sports and keep it manly. You know what? I don't think I'm as manly as
you're not the typical guy though.
I don't think I'm very manly.
You don't have those typical like masculine hang-ups, and I'm calling them hang-ups because like your emotions are like always readily available.
Yeah.
And I can access them at any point.
Yeah.
And not just me, like your friends. Like you never need a warm-up period.
No.
You're just like, this is what it is. Whereas a lot of guys, need to have, 10 shots of whiskey and shoot some pool and wait 3 hours to get all heated up. And then they're like an open book. Whereas you're just like an open book.
But why do you need the warm-up time? Isn't that why you're friends?
I agree. But I think just, like that's a terrible, like genderized, like thing that we've passed on to like our boys. And they're like, no, go to play shoot some hoops, and then they like use it really because they want to talk to each other, but it makes them feel like less wussy, I think, in their heads.
I don't know. It's usually it's just like John and I go to the movies, and on our way to the movies we stop at the Bowery. We just sit outside, smoke and drink and talk.
Oh yeah,
and go see the movie like that.
But I don't think that's common for a lot of guys. They have to like, I don't know.
Well, if you're a guy watching this and you have a hard time talking about your feelings, we give you this free advice. Now, I came up with this saying all on my own, but I think it really covers it. Just do it. I've never heard that before, completely off the top. But like if I had a brand, I would say like just do it.
Right.
Like, that'd be a cool way to. We should start a relationship brand, and that should be our tagline. Just do it. Just talk about it.
Okay. Anyway, we'll see you guys on Sunday night. Video coming out on Thursday.
Yep. Thank you guys for being here. You're awesome. You're the best ever. Bye. And now we do the awkward look down and how to get out of this. Press the buttons. Adieu. Just do it.